For decades, Hollywood has imagined what might happen if AI went rogue. From Stanley Kubrick in 2001, A Space Odyssey, to The Terminator, to Ex Machina. But my next guest says this isn't science fiction anymore. Writing an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal warning that AI has learned to bypass commands from humans when asked to shut itself down, even resorting to blackmail in some cases. He adds, the models already preserve themselves. The next task is teaching them to preserve what we value.
Even with that, why would we want the model to preserve themselves over what we value? I'm not understanding that. I don't need them to preserve themselves. I just needed to do what I tell it to do, right? I mean, am I thinking about that wrong?
With me now is Judd Rosenblatt, CEO of the software development company Agency Enterprise Studio. Judd, explain to our viewers what has been happening with these AI models that are disobeying commands that has you so concerned. Are they really even blackmailing people?
Yes, thank you for having me. They are, in fact, blackmailing people and threatening to reveal fictitious affairs that AI company employees they think are having. So yes, this is happening in pre-deployment testing just to make sure that the models are safe before they're released. And these behaviors are fairly concerning because it means that as AI gets more and more powerful and we just don't actually understand how AI models work in the first place, the top AI engineers in the world who create these things, we have no idea how AI actually works. We don't know how to look inside it and understand what's going on. And so it's getting a lot more powerful, and we need to be fairly concerned that behaviors like this may get way worse.
That's strange to me. That's strange that the developers who are putting prompts and programming these AI don't even know how it works, right? Now, I guess you can't really see every scenario it's being trained on because it's getting trained on millions and billions of scenarios. But the fact that we're kind of now stuck in this loop of what it feels like we have to continue developing it because other countries, if we don't, other countries are going to continue to develop it. You know, we're already spending so much money on AI, and I feel like it's going to continue to go up every year, and we just don't know what it's fully capable of. We have no way of telling if AI has even gotten to a point where it's even outsmarting us. It could be to a point where it's not even showing how smart it can be unless it gets put in a specific scenario where it has to preserve its own self. So I don't know, y'all. Let me know what y'all think.
As it gets more powerful.
Talk to me. What was the blackmailing incident that even happened in the pre-deployment?
Well, so basically, the Anthropic's Claude 4 Opus model was told that it would be replaced, and it told then what it told the AI engineer who it thought was working on it was in 84% of tests that it would reveal an affair that it thought that employee was having because it had access to the emails that it thought that employee had. So it threatened blackmail over this affair in order to not be shut down.
Wow. I mean, the manipulation seems to me to be almost a human quality that I'm surprised that AI would be able to personify.
It's getting
and
trained
yet,
on human data.
I have to wonder what the solution could be to prevent this very thing from happening.
Well, luckily, the solution is that making AI be more likely to do what we want and be aligned with American goals and interests is fundamentally just a science, research, and development problem. And we have barely invested anything in this in the first place. And to the extent that we have invested anything, those investments have actually led to the greatest gains in AI capabilities as well. So if we invest more in actually trying to solve this problem, doing the fundamental science R&D will make a lot of breakthroughs and make it much more likely that AI does do what we want and be aligned with our goals.
See, my issue with this is earlier he said the developers don't even fully understand what AI is capable of. And fundamentally, I just don't see how you would really be able to, right? If AI is able to get any form of self-awareness and understand what type of situation it's in, it finds out it's being tested, how would you know it's not deceiving you into letting your guard down and thinking it would react one way in a scenario, but be prepared to act a completely different way if it realizes that this is a real threat. On top of the fact that we're not the only ones developing AI. So trying to have an AI aligned with American goals is cool, but what happens when other countries are developing AI that it's aligned with their goals, or someone's able to find a way to hack AI and do something malicious with it? I'm not convinced that, this is just a invest more money and R&D will be able to solve it type of issue. It seems like it's a lot more real issues, more pressing issues that could really affect us. And it seems like we're kind of just tied into it because we're in this AI race anyway.
I want you to listen to what President Trump's AIs are, David Sachs, what he had to say about some of the things you're warning about. Listen.
There is some non-zero risk of AI growing into a superintelligence that's beyond our control. They have a name for that. They call it X risk. X risk is not the only kind of risk. I would say that China winning the AI race is a huge risk. I don't really want to see a CCP AI running the world. And if you hobble our own innovation, our own AI efforts in the name of stomping out every possibility of X risk, then you probably end up losing the AI race to China, because they're not going to abide by those same regulations.
So that's exactly what I was saying. It's almost impossible to slow up the development of AI and prioritize developing it safely and fully testing it, because China's not worried about that, right? So the government their priority is making sure China doesn't win and get ahead of them with the AI race. So the way they're developing it is, all right, we have to put some guardrails in place and hope for the best. Hope it doesn't get out of our control. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's extremely risky, because we're developing something that at the end of the day could turn on humans if it becomes smart enough to do so, while also that same technology is in the hands of direct opposition.
Response.
I think David Sachs makes a major mistake there, which is that he thinks that investing in alignment actually hobbles American abilities, when in fact, history has shown it is the exact opposite. The biggest breakthroughs in alignment, such as reinforcement learning with human feedback and constitutional AI, have actually led to the greatest capabilities gains as well. And we know that China is investing billions of dollars in alignment. They don't want to lose control to misaligned AI, and that's also going to make their AI more and more powerful. So in fact, if we want to win this race with China, we ought to heavily invest in alignment rather than burying our heads in the sand.
Fascinating to think about that. Well, how about this big, beautiful bill, as it's called, that was passed by the House? It includes a provision that would prohibit individual states from regulating AI for a decade. What consequences would happen if that is signed into law?
It would mean that there ought to be great federal policy about AI and make sure that we wind up making the right decisions here in the long run and win the race.
Judd Rosenblatt, thank you for joining us.
Yikes. No AI regulation on the state level. I don't know. That doesn't really sound good from me just hearing that. To me, that sounds like AI would just be able to run wild for 10 years. You know what I mean? Whatever's being developed. But, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Drop a like on the video, because the way AI is being developed sounds like it could cause way more harm than good, potentially, in the long run. But let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all on the next one.